What's going on in the Oahu market? Is it crashing? Is it still super hot? Well, in this video, we're going to give you the breakdown of the data that's coming out for January of 2023 in regards to what's happening in the Oahu real estate market. So stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. All right, guys, like I mentioned in this video, we're going to go over the data that's coming out that's reflecting and showing us what's happening in January of 2023 in the Oahu real estate market. And just to set a foundation of the common trends that we're seeing happening before we jump on my computer and look at the data is that interest rates have almost doubled in just the last year and has really brought less buyers to the table, which is starting to see the shift that everybody's discussing about. Now, are we seeing a crash by any means? I wouldn't say we're seeing a crash, but we're definitely seeing a shift where the power is going from the sellers to the buyers. So let's see what the data is actually telling us so that we can make the right decision for you sellers and buyers out there out here in Oahu, Hawaii. Fresh off the press from the Honolulu Board of Realtors for December of 2022. So let's go over these stats as we see them and what that information means. So the first thing we see here is year over year sales for single family homes plummeted 46%, while condo sales were down 39%. So this means that the actual closed sales for single family homes and condos are almost down 50%. So if you had 1,000 homes sold last year, this year we only had 500 homes sold. And the reason for that is obviously the increase in interest rates. And then also we were already in a situation where we had a lot of lack of inventory in the past. But the biggest thing is the interest rate hike, bringing less buyers to the table. The next thing we see here is the median sales price for single family homes dipped slightly to $1,049,000, while the condos sales price rose to $502,000. So my understanding of why this most likely is happening is because, once again, the interest rates are affecting the market completely. So we're having less people who could afford that single family home because of the interest rates, and they're getting pushed into the condo and townhouse market, which is why we're seeing a slight dip in the single family home market and a slight increase in the condo market. The next thing we see here is the percent of original list price received continued to dwindle, with single family home sellers receiving a median of 96.7% of their asking price in December of 2022, falling from 102% last year. So what does this mean? This means that if you listed your property for $1 million last year, you were receiving 102% of that, which would basically be $1,020,000. Now, on the flip side, with the transition and the shift happening, we're seeing it happen on the other side, where basically buyers are now able to get properties under asking. So if you had a property listed now for $1 million, you most likely would receive somewhere around $967,000. So below the asking price, which is unheard of last year. And in the condo market, the median percent of original list price received was 98.5% compared to 100% in 2021. So taking that same scenario, $1 million for a condo, which is pretty high, but just to use it for easy math, you would receive $985,000 would be the median, compared to last year, where basically people were just getting exactly what they were asking for their condo. Now, if we look at some of the actual data, we're going to see a common trend here, and that is seeing these negative symbols here. I like to use the median sales price compared to the average sales price, because you can have, a property that sold for 20 million that can completely throw out the average. So I like to use the medians to kind of get a general idea of what's happening in the market. So once again, to reiterate what we discussed before, we're seeing that the median sales price for single family homes is just down a half a point at $1,049,000. And we can see that the closed sales, once again, is down 46%. And for condos, we're seeing that they actually rose, like we discussed before, to 502, and we're seeing closed sales down 39%. Now, diving a little bit deeper into understanding the market, we need to look at the median days on market, percent of original list price received, and then also inventory. How much inventory we have either increasing or decreasing to the market. Now, for the median days on market for single family homes, we're seeing that it's up 127%, but don't get too wild, guys. We're just seeing that it's actually at 25 days compared to 11 days, which, things were just flying off the shelf before. And 25 days really is us being in more of a balanced market. So we are definitely seeing that shift. And on the flip side, for condos, we're seeing a similar trend, that the increase for days on market is up 61%. So from 13 days, 21 days. So properties are still selling within about 3 weeks if priced accordingly. Now, the next thing we want to look at is the percent of original list price received. Now, we discussed this before, as we saw that it's down 5.3% from 102% to 96.7%. So definitely single family homes are going for under asking. And same trend we're seeing with condos at about 98.5%. Now, in regards to inventory, we can see that active inventory is actually up 93.2%. So those days on market are increasing, meaning those properties that usually sold in less than 2 weeks are still sitting there and allowing buyers to actually shop and have time to shop, instead of having to make a decision, see the property on Friday, have to put an offer on Saturday, and get their offer declined or accepted by Sunday. We're actually seeing that there's a little bit more time for buyers to shop, and there's a couple more options with that significant, almost 100% increase in active inventory. Now, total inventory in escrow reflects how many deals are actually going into escrow, and we can see that that's been cut in half, which is probably why we're seeing active inventory actually increasing significantly. So months of supply of active inventory, and what this actually means is if you have 100 homes, how many months does it take for all of them to be gone? We can see last year when the market was crazy hot, it took less than a month for all that inventory to be gone. And now it takes just over 2 months for that active inventory to actually be sold. So that's a significant increase of 162%. And we can see that we have a slight increase for condos, up 37%. So instead of it taking a month and a half, it's taking just over 2 months for that active inventory to be sold. Okay guys, so let's summarize what we actually just saw in all that data. The first thing we saw is that we're definitely seeing a shift in the market and more power going to the buyers compared to the sellers. And that was translated basically from the original list price received, going from 96 or 98% compared to 100 or 102% of what sellers were actually receiving. Additionally, we saw that the days on market has increased significantly, over 100% for certain scenarios, meaning that buyers have more time to make a decision, and sellers are starting to get used to this idea that their home's not going to be sold in just one weekend, and sometimes getting a little antsy and maybe accepting the idea of getting an under asking price. Additionally, we're also seeing that there's been a significant increase in inventory. Properties are not selling as fast as they were, so they're sitting on the market a little bit longer, once again giving buyers more options and more time to make a decision, once again giving buyers more power in this new shifting market. If a property is listed at a good price that's competitive and shows well, properties are still selling within 3 weeks. But sellers need to make sure that they list their property competitively, because if they don't, they might find themselves being on the market for 60, 90, 100 plus days. So it's really important that you buyers, when you come look at a property, if it's been on the market for a while, you're in a good position to get that property under asking. But if it's been on the market and it's fresh, it looks good, and it looks like there's a lot of people at the open houses, there's a good chance it might sell within 2 weeks. So is the market crashing? I wouldn't say it's crashing by any means, but there definitely is more leverage for the buyers to get a property at a good price and not have to pay stupid money out of pocket, cover the appraisal, cover all these different sellers' expenses just to get the deal. So with that being said, if you guys are interested in either selling your property for a competitive price or buying one and finding yourself a deal, I'd be happy to assist. I am a licensed realtor out here, so I've got my contact information right here. As well, you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. And if you guys could do one huge favor for me, if you guys could smash that like button as well as click the subscribe and notification bell so you can get notified whenever I drop new videos just like this, I'd really appreciate it. With that being said, I'm Patrick from PatrickLongleyRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.